this is going to be a special review this time. Eddie is going to be going solo this time to give his thoughts on The Kid, which came out in theaters. Due to some personal things, I couldn't make the screening for it and everything like that. So this is going to be another one of his solo reviews that he's going to be doing. So This is now, he's going to tell me all about The Kid.
All right, The Kid is a 2019 Western film, debut with Vincent D'Onofrio. It's his debut as a director, and it stars, well, he does a cameo, but it stars that Dan DeHaan guy. If you got Dane DeHaan, you know him from the Amazing Spider-Man
and Chronicle
and all that. Ethan Hawke, Chris Pratt, and Adam Baldwin, and among others in this film. And it's a story taking place in 1896, I believe it was. And it's a movie. It's about two stories where you got the one about this boy and his sister who are on a run from their evil uncle after some crap happened, some sadistic uncle, after some shit goes down, and they're on the run, and while they're on the run, they run into Billy the Kid, played by Dane DeHaan. And if you guys know who Billy the Kid is, he's that famous Western gunslinger. Yeah. He's been portrayed in so many outlaws. Yeah, outlaws. He's been portrayed in so many films.
Especially you've seen Young Guns.
Yeah, and then infamous cop. Shit, let me see. Forgot the cop's name in this. He's a famous he's a legendary lawman. Sorry, I couldn't remember the character's name. Pat Garrett, who was played by Ethan Hawke. He's a famous cop, law officer back in those days. Yeah. And he's pursuing Billy the Kid. They used to be friends back in old times, but then had a fallout. He became an officer, while Billy the Kid became an outlaw. So he's going after his old friend. It seems, so while that's going on, like I said, the kid and his sister are on the run from the uncle, and they run into Billy the Kid, and they pretty much go on a journey, but then some things happen. It's pretty much the brother and sister get caught in a cat and mouse in between the mix up with Billy the Kid and the lawmen back, going after them. And while you got that whole story going on, and got the uncle after them too. So it's kind of like two different plots, but they try to collide and stuff. But going into this film, I was interested in the trailers. It did look quite interesting. I'm not the most diehard fan of Western films, but I do like occasionally what they're trying to do with bringing them back.
Yeah, like especially the last few years since we've had Magnificent Seven, which also featured three of these actors: Vincent D'Onofrio, Ethan Hawke, and Chris Pratt.
You and I saw one with Christian Bale. Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
That's what was it? It was last year called.
I forgot the name of that too.
Yeah,
but I'm getting into some of the westerns that they're bringing back. I've liked some westerns back in the day. I'm not really too familiar with them. I like Quick and the Dead, 3:10 to Yuma, and stuff. There's been some very good western films, but I also went into this very skeptical because I've heard some bad things about this film being very, because the way that it came in and out. It was being portrayed as one of those kind of straight-to-video-ish type things that get a quick release. But I still like the cast, so I was like, all right, I'm going to go in this. And we actually got it here. And if you guys just wondering real quick why we haven't probably done movies like Beach Bums or Drag Across Concrete, why we're not reviewing those films, while everybody else, we unfortunately ain't give them in our fucking theaters.
Yeah, it's because of very limited areas, we unfortunately couldn't get screenings for it.
But, upon seeing The Kid, I will say that, it's about like what I thought it was going to come out to be. It was pretty fucking standard and stale. It's not a horrible movie. It's very watchable, and it's got a great cast. The cast was good. I'll go into some of my, most open standouts, but really it's just, they didn't do a bad performance. It's just... what do you expect from something that almost looks like straight out of video? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, it was pretty stale, leaving open a bag of chips for a couple days. While it's not bad, it tastes good, you're hungry, but it could have been better when it was open. Yeah, when you first fresh. Yeah. So, anyways, going into my pros, like I said, the cast was Ethan Hawke, Dan DeHaan, Dean DeHaan playing Billy the Kid was actually pretty good. I liked him playing as Billy the Kid.
Yeah, I actually find him to be a very underrated actor, and I think that he, much like with a lot of actors I've seen, like Charlie Hunnam and all that, he really seems like he's getting like lesser roles nowadays, especially since his last movie he did the Cure for Wellness.
Yeah.
So he's been having more sideline with more supporting roles.
Yeah, probably my most favorite film of his is Chronicle.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was probably my all-time favorite of his. But yeah, I loved him in Cure for Wellness. He is a very underrated actor, and I think that he did pretty good as Billy the Kid. It's supposed to be played by someone that looks young. That's what Billy the Kid's known for. So I thought he was good. Ethan Hawke, he was good. It's just you see him so much playing the same role.
Well, it seems like ever since he did some Westerns, he's been playing like a kind of similar role like that with this other film he did a few years ago with John Travolta. I forgot the name of it, but he's playing kind of that same type of character.
Well, Ethan Hawke, he's getting into a lot of Westerns, and he's always playing that cop.
Yeah.
The law man. Back in the day, so it's like it's not his performance. He did good. It's just it feels like he's just using typecast those characters into this. So that I will say that this is like a pro con. Chris Pratt. It was interesting seeing him play the main, like a bad fucking villain in this. And while his presence when he's on there is fucking. He's kind of mean. He's fucking brutal. He's all fucking... Like, I knew the face at first, and I didn't pay... I remember I saw the name in the credits, but that didn't dawn on me until later. But they did really good in the makeup job where he's all fucking scarred up.
Yeah, because from the trailers, I didn't fucking recognize him.
Yeah, dude, he's got a beard. He's all fucking cut up, and he's like talking like a fucking... Like a southern outlaw. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker. Like, dude, he cusses a lot in this movie, dude. It's like, you never see that.
I know. This is like probably his most darkest role he's ever fucking done.
But the con part of that is he is fucking wasted throughout this fucking movie. Because while that first fucking plot, which let me get my cons on that because there's some more pros. I will say that the cinematography wasn't the Revenant type, but it's still there. I mean, you see it's very Western-y, and I thought that the outfits they did, the costume design was good. I will say that there's some fucking pretty brutal ass shooting scenes in this film where it actually shows like when they get shot, you see like all their fucking blood and some skin particles getting blown out the back. So that was pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking bloody whenever the shit goes down. The story, it's hit and miss. But that's pretty much all there ain't much to talk about in the pros. I mean, it's not a horrible, like I was saying, but there just ain't much to talk about this movie, so I'm going to get into my cons. So, since I was telling you about the Chris Pratt thing, I want to start off with that. Like I said, while his presence is really good, like, you want to see more, this movie has two different fucking plots going on, and it seems to kind of push that one away. Because at the beginning of the film, it starts off where you get this boy, and he's your main character, and then you get his sister, and something goes on down with, I'm not going to spoil anything, but with somebody, and it's in relations to Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt's, trying to do something, and some shit goes down, them to escape, and they're on the run from him.
Yeah. And
then this movie becomes a fucking Walmart, Sam's Choice, fucking Dollar Tree version of 3:10 to Yuma. Oh. Because they run into Billy the Kid, him and his sister run into Billy the Kid in this fucking like they're staying at some little cabin thing. It just abruptly just came out of nowhere. And then they're like captured and shit. Oh, well, they're not really well, they kind of are at first, but then like they, next thing you know, Billy Kid's all cool with them and shit, which is fucking so random. And then like he gets kind of caught, because in the trailers you see him kind of handcuffed.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And basically, you got Ethan Hawke pretty much capturing Billy the Kid, and it becomes a 3:10 to Yuma, because these two are trying to say, hey, can we go with you guys on this journey to where you're going? Because, they make up some story. And basically it becomes that. You remember in 3:10 to Yuma, they're hauling Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And because, you got the lawmen's holding him captive, and then they go on that journey. It's basically the same thing, but a fucking Sam's Choice version of that. And like I said, they ignore the Chris Pratt thing, and this becomes, and you think, oh, is Billy Kid gonna be good, bad, good, and then it goes away. I think it did. I thought it would, and it becomes like a villainless movie. Because, well, I mean, you get your dickheaded cops, and you're wondering if Ethan Hawke's a fucking dickhead himself, but no one's really established himself as a main villain until the fucking end. Some shit happens with Billy Kid in that storyline, and then it comes back to the fucking beginning storyline. So it's like, it's a very messy movie, yeah. And I will say that this movie does drag a lot whenever it gets to the riding from scene to scene, the town to town. It gets really fucking rinse and repeat.
That is one of my biggest complaints I have in general with a lot of westerns. Because last year when Hostiles came out, that was one of my biggest issues.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Hostiles. That was a Christian movie.
Yeah, this movie, while it's rather way shorter than Hostiles was, it does make the movie hour and a half feel like it's a fucking 2-hour movie at some parts. I'm like, okay. The dialogue is good, but it gets kind of very straight to video-ish dialogue. It's just like, all right, you're just dragging from point A to point B. We get here, so-and-so gets hung. You get your little conflicts that happen and stuff. And then another fucking problem I had with this film is, like, fails to establish the time period. And what I mean by that is whenever something happens with the uncle at the beginning, and then whenever they meet Billy the Kid and his gang, and then they're captured and some shit happens in this one town, this film, while it's in the same scene, they run into Billy Kid later, like not far after in that next scene, and he tells that boy, he goes, "It's been quite a few years since I met you." When the fuck did that happen? I felt like that was just yesterday that happened. Like, this movie doesn't give us, like, any time fucking stretches. This happens, like, 3 or 4 times in this movie. Like, then something else happens, it's, like, 6 months supposedly later. And then this another thing where this kid's pretty much, like, his sister gets captured, and he's on the, like, you know, thrown out. And you feel like that's probably, like, maybe a few days to a week later. It's apparently, like, fucking 3 years later.
What are they?
It's like,
were they caught in a fucking time loop? Like,
I don't know, man. They're not established this. It takes one of the characters to say that, to tell us the time period instead of telling us in text or anything. It's like, okay,
that's very late.
That's kind of all right. It's kind of crappy you do that, because it is like, seriously, the way that Vincent edited into, like, his story, it's like the year thing is coming in the middle of a fucking scene that's still taking place instead of beginning of a scene. Yeah, it's done pretty bad.
Yeah, you can tell he, as a first time as a director, he kind of struggled trying to get structure done.
Yeah, and basically it is a straight A to B to C to D movie in the end. And I will say that another problem I do have, like I said, the editing was one. I will say that climax, that was an anticlimactic fucking ending. Like, you're talking about a villain that, you know, you meet your villain, you get ready to do, like, some bad shootout stuff. Man, this motherfucker dies instantly, and the next thing you know, the boy said something to his sister, and it's over with. The credits start rolling, and the third half starts really looking like a fucking straight-to-video, like, Western. Like, I could have found it starts out like a well-done straight-to-video, like on Redbox, because you know Redbox has movies that come out that look well-done. It could have made theaters.
Yeah.
But this movie literally goes from that to looking like, in the second ladder of the half of the movie, literally looks like something I would find in a bin. So, yeah, it's a watchable movie, but I recommend, if you find this for free on Netflix, if it ever comes on it or something, that's my only recommendation. It's not you can watch it and it's not gonna, like, oh my god, this is so fucking bad. It ain't like that, but it is very stale in the end. So I think I'm being very nice here. With that said, I'm going to give this movie a very, very low average Joe in the Film Freaks meter. And I think I'm being very nice on that. It's not a horrible movie, like I said, but it's a film that I'm going to forget tomorrow.
I hear you.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, this was something that I kind of was, just kind of interested in based on what the trailers were like and everything. And
Yeah.
and it seems like the problem that we have with a lot of westerns nowadays is that because they use such a standard formula, they always don't usually like take a lot with their stories.
That's the reason
Now,
why I like Bone Tomahawk. That movie came out.
Yeah, with
Kurt Russell, because that movie did something different.
Yeah, because it was actually about cannibals and shit.
And horror.
I haven't
It
seen
actually
it yet,
did a
but
horror
but
element
it actually,
with it.
yeah, I like when
Yeah.
westerns take a different take on things.
Yeah.
Like when Tarantino does it, and when you have other movies like 3:10 to Yuma and stuff, they use the same type of formula with a lot of westerns, but they still keep you invested with a lot with what's going on.
It just depends how you approach it, how you're cast, and everything, how you write it. Because you get films like Quick and the Dead and Magnificent Seven, you could say they take the same approach with in 3:10 to Yuma. But those films, the way they wrote it, the characters were likable. You can really tell that the writing is on a very strong point, and they invest a lot of money in their movies.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why those three stood out. Vincent didn't do a horrible job with this, but it is very starter.
Well, yeah, you can tell as a first-time director.
Yeah.
It's like he didn't take like he needed more time to like really get into directing.
And I didn't go in this earlier, but one of my little issues I forgot to mention was why I said I did like Dean DeHaan playing Billy the Kid. He's also very wasted for such a big, well-known name in history.
See, that threw me off because from the previews it made it really seem like because he's the title character.
Well, there's something I can't get into for spoiler reasons that happens in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Abruptly, you could take it or leave it. It might be a good thing or a surprising thing, or it might be a bad thing because Billy the Kid's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my review on The Kid.
Fair enough. For those of you who have also seen The Kid, let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. And check out some of our other reviews here and our website at filmfreaks.com. And we'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later.
Later.